Hey guys, I'm back with another video. I've had a lot of people come to my stream lately asking me how to tank at a low level and that they're struggling holding rage or keeping threat. I'm going to give you guys a very quick, straight to the point video on how to tank at a low level very easily with no complications, no theory crafting, and no need to min-max. This video can be used for classic era, hardcore, or even season of discovery coming up. So the first thing I ask these people when they come into my stream is, what is your rotation? And the first thing they always say is charge, thunderclap, and then switch to defensive stance. Boom, right away, I already know what the problem is. Before I dip into the main actual problem, I think a lot of people are confused about thunderclap and are expecting the same returns as they see in Wrath of the Lich King or maybe even TBC. Thunderclap is nowhere near as effective in Classic as some other expansions, not to mention it only hits 3 targets. In my opinion, it's extremely overrated and a huge waste of rage on your basic mob pools, since it does minimal AoE threat. Thunderclap is a great ability later in the game for hard-hitting mobs or bosses later scenarios or raids. To counter everything I just said, at a low level, your shouts do way more for you than Thunderclap ever will. Now, I said this in my previous tanking videos, but your battle shout does way more threat than you think it does at a low level. In fact, your battle shout does more threat based on the amount of people that you buff in your group. So if you're buffing all 5 people in that radius, you're getting way more threat than you would just be buffing yourself. So when you have mobs stacked up next to your group, spam battle shout and you'll see your threat climb way faster than Thunderclap ever will. Stack this with your demoralizing shout and you just got 2 shouts with a substantial amount of threat as the same rage that you would use 1 thunderclap. You'll see good returns for holding threat. Now keep in mind, your threats for shout will really drop off around level 30, but this is a great way to hold threat in your low levels along with your simple tab and sunder. Now the main problem people have here is that they're suggesting they have no rage when they swap stances or have a hard time generating rage. Please listen to me when I'm about to say. Do not worry about swapping stances until level 30, it's simply just not needed. You first need your 5 points in tactical mastery and arms tree before even thinking about swapping stances while tanking. These dungeons are extremely simple and the groups are so close together that you can just chain pull everything, keep up a tempo, which keeps your rage flowing, the group moving, and you'll never have to worry about not having rage. Overall, there's really no need to leave defensive stance in these dungeons. As you can see in this video going on in the background, I tanked this SFK in 19 minutes, not leaving defensive stance one time. Simply just using my shouts, marking targets when needed, tab sundering, using cleave is more than needed for these low level dungeons. You can also see that I'm tanking with a 2-hand and not a sword and shield. Please ditch the 15 to 20-year-old guides about tanking in classic WoW. There's no need for a sword and shield in these beginning dungeons, and there's no need for you to actually be putting points in protection right away. You don't really even need to use a sword and shield until Scarlet Monastery if you want to be careful, and even then that's a stretch. People will not wait for you to gain rage or threat in 2023 while you're using a sword and shield. You're not doing enough damage, you're not gaining enough rage. DPS will blast anything they see because that's all they know. So while you're sitting there hitting a mob for 14 to 23 damage, they're blasting multi-shot, Frost Nova, Blizzard, you name it. Use your markers, nameplates, get in there with a 2-hand, and get it done. Thanks for watching, and I hope you find this quick video helpful, and be sure to subscribe.